the truth. This is why Jesus comes to preach, to tell the truth. Paul says, "Woe to me if I do not preach." Preach what? The truth. I bet you our Edge kids would know this. Any of you got little baby brothers or sisters, 1 or 2 years old? Do they ask why a lot? Why? Even when you tell them why, they ask why? Why do they ask why? Why? Why would they ask why? Do they want you to tell them something untrue? No. What do they want? They may not understand it. Why, Daddy? I want to know the truth. They don't know how to say that yet, but the proper object of the intellect, I was taught in the seminary, is truth. We don't want to be lied to. We don't want to be given misinformation. That's why your folks, you get in big trouble when you lie. They hate lies. They want the truth. And the truth comes with consequences sometimes. If we give ourselves over to telling the truth, automatically we start doing the right thing, because then we know, okay, I stole this. My mom's going to notice it. She's going to ask me. Then I'm going to lie. I don't like the way it feels when I lie, so I'm just going to leave that alone. That belonged to my brother. I'm not going to take it. Proper object of the intellect is the truth. In our first reading, it is tough after hearing that account from the book of the prophet Job to say, you know, the word of the Lord, thanks be to God. You're like, I don't know, I'm ready to thank you for that one. Everything has gone wrong in this man's life. I mean, really everything, except his wife. She's chiding him as he deals with the loss of some of his children, his stock, his land. He says, I'll never see happiness again, but he does. He remains faithful to God, and he does see healing of the brokenhearted eventually. And we transition to Paul. Woe to me. Now this is after Christ rises from the dead. Woe to me if I don't preach the truth. I've been given a commission. Woe to me. So he goes out and preaches the truth. And then Jesus, in the gospel, he's preaching in the synagogue. And if you go to Capernaum, you got Peter's household right here and the synagogue right here. And the stones at the base of the synagogue are the stones that were standing there when Jesus preached. He goes over to Simon Peter's house. His mother lies sick with fever. Just amazing, our Lord. All he has to do is reach down, take her hand, healed. He heals. Everybody's gathered around the door. He casts out demons. He heals. He prays over the brokenhearted. Then he finally takes leave and he goes out to pray. Probably up the hill, because the Capernaum is right on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. He goes probably up the hill to pray, and then they go and find him. Everybody's looking for you. It is for this reason I have come, to preach. To preach what? The truth. Nobody wants to be lied to. Years and years ago, I've had this happen 3 times. Years and years ago, a couple came in. wife had been listening to Catholic radio, and they were in a marriage that was outside of the church. Husband wanted me to tell the wife that everything was fine. And after I listened to their account, I said, she's right. You're not in a position to receive communion at this point, and you're wrong. Everything is not all right. Oh, he was not happy with me at all. You are a terrible priest and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, okay, but this is the truth. This is the truth. You're not eligible for the sacraments. There are certain things that we can do to make you eligible, but right now, you're not eligible. What I have to say about this particular situation is that man came to me literally with his hat in his hand in apology. This doesn't happen very often in the life of a priest. And he says, we're going to work on it. And they were restored to sacramental grace in the church. And I don't know what happened. They moved away. But he came to me because he wanted to study for the diaconate. I'm like going, we came from here to here. And what was in the middle? The truth. And the acceptance of the truth. Friends, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, inside and outside the church. That is untrue. I call it shoveling fertilizer. And you're like, boy, here comes a big load now. What do we do? In my history of my return to Catholicism, I always felt that the church was a refuge in the storm of everything going on in the world. More recent times, I feel like the parish is more of that refuge. And as long as I'm here, the truth will be preached. You know, I was looking in my breviary, and I took some of these pictures out just to, to show you. I hadn't even thought about it. And this is the way the Lord touches our hearts when we're thinking about how much He loves us and how much He wants the truth for us. Some people don't want to hear the truth. And, I found almost 20 years of priesthood that, I'm a little bit better at finessing things when people need to hear the truth. But I also realized that He was perfect at telling the truth, and that's what they did to Him. So even if we did our very best to tell someone the truth that needed to hear it, this may still happen in many ways to us. I've got a picture of, it's actually the prayer card for Father Pete Rossa, who died in 2017. Always rooted in the truth. My friend Bishop Wall, he has been one of the most truthful people I have ever encountered as a cleric in the church. Maybe some of you know Maria Zielinski. This is her funeral card. Anywhere there was adoration going on, she was there. And she always spoke the truth, always. She died right before I was ordained a priest. St. John Vianney, we have his picture up there. The devil would come into his sacristy at night and harass him. The devil would sometimes come into the confessional and harass him on the other side of the screen. He says, Vianney, if there were 3 men like you on earth, you would break my kingdom. Speaking the truth. Oh, one of my heroes, you know him, Fulton Sheen. Great churchman. One of my newest friends in the faith, Sister Wilhelmina, I call her Blessed Wilhelmina, Benedictine sister, incorruptible, in, I believe, Missouri. I get really mixed up when I'm traveling in that part of Missouri, if I'm in Kansas or I'm in Missouri, or Kansas or Missouri. But just if you're in the Kansas City area, go and see her incorruptible body. And kids, our young people in incorruptible is somebody who does not decompose. We believe because of their holiness and their connection with God. And quite frankly, that's impossible. Friends, as we journey through this life, maybe it would be beneficial for us to think about those first words that we learn when we're growing up. Why, Mommy? Why, Daddy? Because we need to know the truth. And friends, let us always walk in the truth.